Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Clement Voule. I'm the UN Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Association and Peaceful Assembly. First of all, allow me to thank Free Expression Myanmar for the opportunity to speak to this forum. I would like to take this opportunity to inform you about ways my mandate and the international community is thinking about the issue of digital rights, and in particular, freedom of peaceful assembly and association online. My next thematic reports to be presented in June 2018 at the 41st session of the Human Rights Council will address the protection and promotion of the right to freedom of association and peaceful assembly in the digital era. The aim is to identify the issues directly impacting the exercise of these rights online and provide normative guidance on how both public authority and the private sector can better ensure their protection. In this report, I will explore several issues. First of all, I will try to map new digital landscape for civil society and social movements and understanding the positive impact of digital technology on the exercise of freedom of association around the world. Second, I'm seeking to identify the key threats and challenges to freedom of association and assembly in digital era. I want to understand civil society concern around censorship, surveillance, and criminalization of online activities. I want to explore the emergence of novel form restriction that employ digital tools to silence and question the credibility of civil society and social movements. Third, I want to give due consideration to differentiated risk-facing minorities and marginalized groups by this measure. We know these platforms have provided safe and anonymous space to form networks for minorities groups and communities who otherwise face personal and physical risk. For many, the space offline doesn't exist for certain groups in their country or is too dangerous, and the only avenue for them to assemble and associate is through online means. What group face differentiated risk? What kind of risk do these groups face? Fourth, after a general overview of challenge and threat facing freedom of association and assembly, I want to turn to discuss how human rights principles respond to the challenges identified and what are the positive obligations of states. How human rights principles already established respond to this challenge. Have the international norms been sufficiently articulate? Or is it a problem of enforcement, implementation, and accountability? How those rights are being regulated, restricted, or guaranteed by domestic legislation? Do we need more regulation? And if so, how should it look like? Finally, I will turn to the role of private sector. In many respects, the exercise of freedom of association and assembly online is largely dependent on corporate business. So the report will explore the ways in which the exercise of freedom of association and peaceful assembly is both positively or negatively impacted by the activities of corporate business and their legal obligation, data and content policy, technical standard, financial model, and algorithm. I want to explore how can we better articulate and use UN Guiding Principle on business and human rights in this context. To develop these reports, I have open a public process for input to receive comments from civil society organizations, governments, ICT company, and other industry stakeholders, in which I encourage you to participate. Please go to the OCHR website, click on the link to Freedom of Association and Assembly. Then you will see on the mandate page the call for submission. I wish you a fruitful discussion and hope to receive a feedback or a readout of this meeting. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to meet you in my next consultation or here in Geneva during the presentation of the report. Thank you very much and have a good day. Thank you.